Today we're going to talk about two different topics. One of them involves the Democrats and Trump. The second one involves the Pope, um, Pope Francis. The Democrats are saying that if they can win 23 seats, 23 additional seats in the House in the election coming up shortly, then they would start impeachment proceedings against Trump. The Democrats are saying this, naturally Republicans aren't, but the Democrats are. They say the only way they could take impeachment against Trump is they need to win 23 additional seats in the House. And naturally, what they're going to base their main product on would be the guilty pleas of Michael Cohen, Trump's former lawyer and fixer. He implicated the president in off-the-books hush money paid to a porn star, as we know. The other one is Paula Manafort, Trump's former campaign manager. He was found guilty the same day of bank and tax fraud charges. So basically, those are the charges involved, and they're going to be in the impeachment proceedings. But they're not going to do the impeachment the way things are now. They're only going to start those proceedings if they can pick up 23 additional seats in the election coming in the House. The other thing I was going to talk about today, which is in the news all over the world, would be the Pope's trip to Ireland and some of the things that's happening in the church. The main thing is there are people now that are telling the Pope he should resign and step down. And one of the main ones is a guy named Carlo Maria Biagno. And he's a critic of the Pope, a staunch critic. And he keeps referring to all these sex scandals that are taking place in the church. And he's on this constantly, and he's calling for the Pope's resignation. And the main thing that he has is the fact that the Pope has known about a guy named McCarrick, who's a serial predator, and Pope Francis has known about him since June 23rd, 2013. And he's saying the Pope should have stepped in and told that priest to get out. Because he's been there for 5 years now with the Pope knowing about it. And supposedly he is a predator, so he's going after children. The Pope hasn't really said anything lately. He said he's going to sit and listen. He's on his way back from Ireland because Ireland is loaded with priests that are into this sexual relationships with children. And that's one reason he went to Ireland.
Is it legal over there?
Ireland seems to be one of the worst places for the church involving these situations where the priests are sexually abusing children. And this guy McCarrick, that he knew about since 13, he accepted his resignation. The Pope did last month. And it's the first such resignation in living memory. After the New York Times and other news outlets published accounts of the alleged abuse and internal investigation by the American Church deemed credible, and accusation that he had sexually abused a minor, this guy McCarrick. And The Pope was told about this on June 13th, 2013, but the Pope did nothing about it. In fact, the Pope gave him some other job um, to do by McCarrick, and um, the this guy saying Vigano, the Pope must be the first to set a good example for cardinals and bishops who covered up McCarrick's abuses and resign along with all of them. So he's asking for more people to resign because a lot of people knew about this guy McCarrick, and he was having sexual affairs, and they knew about it. He knows since 2013, so it's been 5 years, and nothing has happened. So now the Pope is on his way back to, I think, America, the United States, from Ireland, and the Pope got a letter from Vigano, but the Pope is keeping his mouth shut. He won't say nothing for a while, and he said he's just going to wait and not say anything. But I think this is the first time in history that I've seen it where this guy, and there are several other people, they all want the Pope to step down because of these problems going on with sex with minor children. And when there was one case, I think in Ireland or something, that happened 5 years ago.
I don't think you should step down.
And the parents for that child have really been causing some trouble. And then naturally, they had the two cases in America that they settled lately for $900,000 that involved sex abuse. But they have to sort through these people and the ones that are into this sex with these minor children, because there are some people in the church that aren't going to take that sitting down if they don't do something about it. I mean, and some of these people are mean, and they're real mean. And if they know that somebody touched their child, boy or girl, 10, 11, 12, 13, I don't know what they do. And another thing, I have not seen anything on any of these cases where they brought any criminal charges against these priests. And I know if you have minor with a child under a certain age, it's a crime. You have criminal charges, but naturally they seem to go by for so many years. I guess they try to let the statute of limitations run. There are statute of limitations on every crime, except maybe murder. Some of them, they can go on forever. But these statutes in these different states and countries, they might be 3 years, 5 years, something like that, where they can't go in for criminal proceedings. But a lot of people that know about these priests, according to this article, it's all hush hush. Hush, hush, hush. Don't say nothing, hush, hush, hush. But some of these parents are not going to sit there. Times are changing. The whole country's changing. The world's changing. And they're not going to sit there and do nothing. Thank you.